Hello, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Heather DeWitt. I am the current Board of Education President. I serve with Mr. Jeff Dornbush, current Vice President. The rest of the board consists of Mrs. Jamie Truman, Mrs. Kim Dussault, and Mr. Aaron Avery. We have a combined 63 years of service. Mr. Avery has just joined us on the board, while Mrs. Dussault has served the longest. That is important because we have experienced the history the district has gone through and can articulate that to our state legislators, local lawmakers, and our constituents. We do our best to make decisions that are consistent and unified. We work cohesively together for the betterment of the district. We support the vision that our superintendent, Mrs. Bergman, has for the district. We also support the efforts expended in securing our financial future taken by our treasurer, Mr. Keaton. We are extremely fortunate to have these two individuals. The board is committed to bringing our campuses up to date to allow for ease of learning and safer environments for our students. R.C. Waters was a recipient of air conditioning, new doors, and a phone system. We are also putting R.C. on a 5-year plan to renovate incrementally. We would like to paint, put in new windows, and lighting. The new intermediate school created a better environment for our 4th through 6th grade students without asking our constituents to pay more. We were able to accomplish this by sound fiscal management. We are cognizant of the fact that in 2017-18, our community voted for new money levies, and that was a heavy load. Every position is scrutinized when someone leaves or retires as to the overall impact to the student education before filling it or absorbing those skills elsewhere. BCS has become accustomed to high test scores and academic excellence. Our board believes in fostering environments where staff and students excel in their passions. Developing well-rounded students that enter college, military, or the workforce benefits our community as a whole. Seeing our students succeed after they leave our district is a testament to what we do at BCS. Believe, challenge, succeed is not just the motto. The board members believe in transparency and community cooperation. We have our phone numbers and emails on the BCS website if you want to contact any one of us. If we don't know the answer, we will certainly ask. We want to keep the lines of communication open to anyone who has concerns. We would ask you to follow the chain of command first with complaints about the school or personal classroom issues, and if you don't get the resolution, then reach out. We ask this only to give our staff and administrators a chance to respond. While we may not always give you an answer that you want to hear, we want you to know that your concerns, complaints, and ideas are important to us, as we always strive to take every comment into consideration. You are invited to our monthly board meetings to discuss anything, whether it is on the agenda or not, and we will give you our fullest attention. Thank you for listening today, and go Rockets!
Hello everyone. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome you all back as we embark on this new school year. We are thrilled to be before you today as we kick off another exciting year. It's a time to reflect on our achievements, recognize the incredible support we've received, and to look forward to the future with optimism and determination. We welcome this new school year of 24-25 with 11 new hires, 7 of which reside in Oak Harbor. This is a group of talented and dedicated individuals who have joined the team this year. Their fresh perspectives and enthusiasm will undoubtedly enhance our district and enrich the experiences of our students. We are excited to see the positive impact that they will make. And now I'd like to turn it over to Mr. Keaton, our treasurer, who would like to discuss a little bit about Davis-Besse.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Bergman. Here at BCS, as many of you know, it's a financial roller coaster when it comes to our school district in terms of finances. So I have a very exciting job and at the same time a bit scary at times. I want to start a little bit and go over the history. And back in 2017, we received a $140 million drop to our total valuation of our school district. So picture $141 million homes all burnt down in one day, not rebuilt. That's what we faced here at BCS. And we did it with the help of our community, who stepped up, and we passed 2 historic levies back then, as Mrs. DeWitt mentioned. And those levies were so vital in keeping our school district very top best, leading not only Ottawa County, but leading Northwest Ohio in academic performance year in and year out. So we are very proud of that and very thankful for that from our taxpayers. Fast forward to last year, we received the news that Davis-Besse is again devaluing, is the term used, to the tune of about $50 million, lowering their total valuation. That is going to mean to the BCS School District a $1.8 million loss, or roughly 10% of our total revenue. And as you can imagine, we are very concerned about that, but at the same time, I'm very thankful. We've been through this before. We've learned from our mistakes. We've learned how to do things a little better. We've become wiser every time we go down in the slope of the roller coaster. I do want to point out, though, this was not caused. Davis-Besse has a new ownership this year. The company's called Vistra. They're out of Texas. They did not know about this devaluation. This was taking place prior to them purchasing the plant. So I do want to point that out. Both Mrs. Bergman and myself have had great meetings, and they've had a doors wide open approach and have been very responsive to us. So I'm hopeful that as we look for a solution to this most recent devaluation, that they will help be a part of that. I also want to give a special shout out to our county auditor, Ms. Jen Widmer. Throughout this whole process, I think it's important that our taxpayers know we have a county auditor that, number one, is really open to communicating to the school district, making sure we're well aware of what's going on in terms of valuations across the district. And number two, she's not afraid to stand up to various companies, not just Davis-Besse, and make sure that she's providing a fair value on property, and make sure it's fair to the taxpayer, but also the taxing agency receiving the money. So we really appreciate having Ms. Widmer as county auditor. I wanted to take a minute and introduce the Senior Director of Community Affairs, Mr. Brad Watson, who did a little video for us actually from Texas. So we're going to show that here for the community.
Hi, I'm Brad Watson. I'm the Senior Director of Community Affairs at Vistra, the new owner and operator of the Davis-Besse nuclear power plant. And on behalf of the plant management and staff and the more than 5,000 employees at Vistra working in 20 states and Washington, D.C., I want to say how excited we are to be a new corporate citizen of Northwest Ohio, Ottawa County, and the Benton-Carroll-Salem School District. Our company's history goes back more than 140 years, and although our company, which is based in Texas, has grown quite a bit since then, one thing has remained constant, and that is our commitment to the communities where we do business. Education is vital to Vistra. In fact, it is one of the key focus areas of the Vistra Corporate Community Giving Program. We especially emphasize K-12 grades and STEM classes. We really encourage students at Benton-Carroll-Salem schools to do well in their STEM classes because we might want to hire you one day. At Vistra and Davis-Besse, we want to do our part to support the mission of Benton-Carroll-Salem schools through perhaps volunteer opportunities, mentorships, plant tours, and financial support for certain programs. Remember, a great education is your passport to the future. Study hard, do well, have fun, and best wishes for a great school year ahead.
Welcome back, Mrs. Bergman. I just want to end by saying, the school district here, BCS schools, will not be the only impacted entity from this recent devaluation. So here locally, we'll have the Oak Harbor Library will lose funding, Carroll Township, and also the county. So how can we help? That's always the That's always the question. That's always kind of the ask in these situations. Certainly, we are going to be working our tails off to try to get a good partnership with the state of Ohio to help make up for these losses. I would encourage our community to, we have the emails here of our Representative DJ Swearingen in the House and Representative State Senator Teresa Gavrone in the Senate. I encourage everyone, just if you could, take the time, copy and paste these emails, and just a real quick email to them saying, please, I hope you work with the BCS School District to help make up for these losses that they recently incurred. Because I'm very proud as the CFO, treasurer of BCS Schools, as the financial leader, and I think the community should be very proud of both the superintendent and the Board of Education that we will not be on the ballot in November. When we passed the new levies a few years ago that Mrs. DeWitt's talked about, that was the first time we were on the ballot in nearly 20 years. It's our hope that we go another 20 years before we have to get on the ballot. And again, we've been through this before. We've weathered the storm. We had the help of the community. And I believe, and I know our board believes, and Mrs. Bergman, our community is kind of tapped out when it comes to property taxes, and that is the last resort. So we are firm believers that we're going to partner with the state, and we are going to stay off the ballot. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but we're going to keep off as long as we can and continue to work so that our taxpayers don't have tax increases in the future. That's my number one goal as treasurer always. And I've been very blessed as a treasurer here at BCS because I'm 2 for 2 with superintendents. I know many of you remember Dr. Guy Parmesan. I worked with him for many years. Truly had a superintendent that was probably a little cheaper than the treasurer. And then I followed up Mrs. Bergman. I could probably say the same. I'm oftentimes telling her we have to spend a little money out of our PI to do upgrades. So I'm very blessed that we have very strong fiscal conservativeness at the top, certainly with the board and with the superintendent. So thank you, Mrs. Bergman, for that.
Thank you, Mr. Keaton.
Yeah.
You do an outstanding job. We're very fortunate to have him. As many of you may not know, he works down in Columbus with building relationships. He's been a part of the Fair School funding. He does an outstanding job, and we're very grateful to have
Thanks,
you.
Mrs. Bergman.
We are going to move on to the report card. Speaking of all the achievements, I am proud that our district has received an excellent state report card again this year. The accomplishment is a testament of our hard workers, our heart's dedication and commitment from our staff. It reflects truly not only a collective effort, but it helps us foster an environment where students can thrive. The preliminary reports are in, and we are, as of now, once again, have the highest scores in Ottawa County. Congratulations to everyone for contributing to this remarkable success. We will continue to build on this achievement and strive for even greater heights. Moving right along to a few updates. We have an update about the athletic boosters. As many of you may have seen, we have an addition to our football stadium, and this is we are thankful to the athletic boosters for this. They have done this solely on their own. These upgrades will make for hopefully a better experience for everyone who visits. It represents our ongoing commitment to improving our facilities and creating a welcoming environment. We joined the NBC last year. That was our first time, and I can proudly say that we secured 5 league titles. So congratulations to everyone involved in this remarkable accomplishment. Now we do have Mr. Keaton's going to give us an update on the middle school grant.
And first off, kudos to the athletic boosters because they work all year long to help raise money to go towards projects like that. Now, but we did tell them that there is air conditioning in the new booth, and if we cannot beat Port Clinton this year at football, it will not be turned on. So we need to make sure that we continue that tradition as well. So we, here at BCS, we turn over a lot of couch cushions and a lot of rocks looking for some loose change around the state of Ohio. And we've been pretty successful at that. We've received safety and security grants. We've received, there's been a lot of things around cybersecurity, mental health and wellness. But you know, as we went down the road of the middle school process, it was very expensive. We found early on to tear down the middle school. We were shocked at the numbers that were coming in. So we found an opportunity and partnered actually with the county land bank to help apply for a demolition grant that the state of Ohio holds once a year. And that application, I believe, was due April 1st. So I want to give a huge shout out to the Ottawa County Land Bank and Mr. Mark Messa, who really did a lot of work with us on helping prepare for that grant. Because the last thing we want to do is leave a building kind of sit vacant in the middle of town. And so it's something we really want to have a good use for that space in the future, and work with the community to make sure that, you know, we can have that good use. So.
Okay. Well, we want to take this opportunity to extend a heartfelt thank you to our community. Your unwavering support and commitment have been instrumental in our success. Whether through volunteering, attending events, or cheering on our teams, your involvement makes a significant difference. We are deeply grateful for your engagement and dedication. It is your support that strengthens our schools and help us achieve great things. As we move forward, I want to emphasize our commitment to transparency and open communication. Our doors are always open to you, questions, ideas, or concerns. We value your input, and we want to ensure that we are working together to make our district the best it can be. Thank you, Mr. Keaton. Thank you for your continued dedication and support. Here's to a fantastic year ahead, filled with new opportunities and accomplishments.